Media platforms have a responsibility to make sure that misinformation isn't got out there. I noticed today, for example, on the way up here, they've removed various sites that were up containing fake images of myself superimposed on other people. That's the sort of thing that is going on social media. Social media has a responsibility to do the right thing here.
Welcome to Report from Tiger Mountain. We're going to talk about our dear beloved leader here in Australia, Albo. Stick around and listen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about Anthony Albanese, or as Sam Newman likes to call him, A-Now, because that's the first two letters of his name, like ScoMo. You know, he is our leader in Australia. I know it's kind of a bit of a boring topic, ladies and gentlemen, because he's probably the most boring Prime Minister this country's ever had. Yep. Is he the worst? Well, I don't know. It remains to be seen. He certainly isn't the best. I'll tell you that right now. He's pretty dull. You know, and obviously he spent much of his first period as Prime Minister travelling around the world, getting instructions from his globalist masters all over the world, ladies and gentlemen. But now he does seem to have returned to Australia for a little bit, and now he's decided to hang out with wealthy, people who back the Labor Party, whether it be people like Lindsay Fox or someone like the Pratt family, who have put on a special gig for him. And there was all this thing where he wasn't going to go and see Taylor Swift. He was going to see a private gig of Katy Perry at the Pratt family mansion or whatever. And then I think I thought it was interesting because I'm a member of Scott Morrison's Instagram page, and Scott Morrison was at Taylor Swift, kind of like getting into it. Clearly he was a Swiftie, ladies and gentlemen. And then the next thing you know, I think the following day, Anthony Albanese, or Albo as he's sometimes called, he was spotted at Taylor Swift as well. Obviously, I think, if you're a politician, you would probably want to associate yourself with Taylor Swift because she is quite popular, particularly with female voters, young and probably some, old and young, and some who are probably too young to vote, so you probably have to worry about them. But, it does make sense. But, it seemed to me like Anthony Albanese was more interested in hanging out with these, Zionist Pratt family, and, God knows what goes on behind closed doors there, ladies and gentlemen. And, he's obviously, all into this kind of, he just seems to push, a kind of woke politics. I'm sure you've noticed that the Labor Party of Bob Hawke, that appeared to, care about the working class, is not the, Labor Party of Anthony Albanese. I think, it could have been, Anthony Albanese, if he was smart, could have returned the Labor Party in a non-woke direction and made it more about supporting the local working class, lowering the cost of living, caring about the average Aussie battler. But it seems like, whether it's instructions from the globalists or whether it's instructions from his own party, he doesn't care about that. And he's distracted at the moment because he's our first divorcee, Prime Minister. So he's announced he's getting married to his partner, Jodie Hayden, and, that's another distraction, another bunch of bullshit. So, that's just a little report from Tiger Mountain, ladies and gentlemen, on local politics and what's going on there. We're probably about halfway through term one of Anthony Albanese, and let's hope it's only one term. Even though Peter Dutton ain't perfect, he'd be a much better Prime Minister than Anthony Albanese, and he's actually been rising in the polls because Anthony Albanese has been doing such a pathetic job, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the report for Tiger Mountain for this week. Thank you for listening.
But this bloke thinks he's above the Australian law, that he's above common decency,